Hello everyone. So welcome back again. In today's video, we'll learn about decision making in Python. Okay. So those of you who have already some experience in any programming language would already know about the if-else statement. Okay. So basically, that's what is meant by decision making. If some conditions are satisfied, we do certain things. Else, if another condition is satisfied, we do some things, or if none of that works, we will do some other thing. Okay, so that's basically what is meant by decision making. Based on some value of a variable, etc., we decide what needs to be done. Okay, so here in this example, what we are doing is, in the first line we are just inputting a value. Okay, so we are taking, or we are asking the user for a value, and the user will enter a number. Okay, and now the second line, actually I'm converting that variable. Okay, so you have already studied that whenever we use input, the value we get will be a string value. Okay, so the value inside a will be a string. We need to convert that into integer, then only we can do like operations like, or we can compare that with like greater than 0, less than 0, like that. Okay, you cannot compare a string with a integer, right? So first of all, we convert the string to an integer. Straightforward, we just write int in bracket a. Okay, so that a is converted to a integer, and then it is stored in the same variable a itself. Okay, and now what we are doing is we are checking for one condition, right? So if you write if in brackets a greater than 0, okay, and then as in the for loop, we are putting the colon here to indicate that whatever we are going to type next is coming under the this if block. Okay, so we give we give a spacing also, or like a tab indentation, and we write if the number is greater than 0, naturally it's a positive number, right? So we write print positive, and then we are giving another condition. Okay, if this condition fails, we will be checking this condition, and this condition will be checked only if this condition is failed. Okay, so if this condition is true, it just prints positive and that's it. But if that condition a greater than 0 fails, then the command goes to the next line. Okay, elif is the Python way of saying else if. Okay, so instead of writing else if in Python, we write only elif, right? So if so else if the number is less than 0, then we can write it's a negative number. And if both of them are not coming true, okay, if the number is not greater than 0, the number is also not less than 0, then the number must be 0, right? So that condition, that's the only other possibility now. So we write else. In else, we don't have to give a condition. Okay, so whatever condition that was given in if and else if they fail, then only control comes to else. Okay, otherwise the else the control will not reach else. Okay, and it's not necessary to give else if. You can also have just one if and else, or you can just have a single if. That's all fine. Okay, but you cannot simply have elif and else. You must have a if at the beginning. Okay, so we can just run this and see the output. So it's asking me to enter a number, so I'm just entering 10. So here I get the answer as positive, and if I'm giving the number as 0, that means the first condition was checked, whether 0 was greater than 0, that's false, so it goes to this elif condition. So elif, it was checked if the number is less than 0, so 0 less than 0 is again false, then the control goes to else. Okay, and we get the number print 0. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward. And yeah, we can just go to another if condition. So here I'm using just if and else. Okay, so again I'm inputting a number, but here instead of writing input number then convert that into an int, I'm just doing both these lines in a single line. Okay, so I'm just writing int, and whatever variable that comes up from input enter a number, I'm converting to int. Okay, this both means exactly the same thing. Okay, and yeah, so this is a shorter way of writing it. It's the same thing. Okay, so inside if you can also have this type of condition. It means b percentage 2 equal to 0. Okay, that means if you are dividing b, the number b, with 2, if the remainder is 0. Okay, so when you write b percentage, it's known as modulus operator. So if you write b modulus 2, that means or the value you get is the value, the remainder when you divide the number b with 2. Okay, so if I'm checking if the number is divided by 2, if I'm getting a 0, and not here that you are writing 2 equal to. Okay, so if you need to check, you have to put 2 equal to. If you need to assign something, okay, like b equal to, then we use single equal to. But if you have to check something whether this value equal to this value, at that time you must be careful that you have to use 2 equal to signs. Okay, so if the remainder when dividing with 2 is 0, then the number is even, right? That's a even number. Else you don't have to check any other condition, we can just write it's a odd number. Okay, so I'm running this now. So I'm getting a number here. Let's just give 59 and I'm getting the number, or I'm getting the message it's a odd number. Okay, and now we can have a bit more detailed if conditions. Okay, so again I'm inputting a number, storing it to C, and I'm writing, I need to check multiple conditions now. Okay, so I'm checking like if C greater than 0 and C percentage 2. Okay, C modulus 2 equal to 0. Okay, that means the number must be positive and even. Okay, when you're writing and, then that means both these conditions have to be satisfied, then only you will enter this if block. Okay, otherwise the control will go to the elif only, right? But instead of and, if you are writing or, okay, just or, then either of this condition can be true, and if one of the condition is true or both of them are true, in either case it goes to the print statement. Okay, so we can have the and back. So remember that and means both of them must be true, or means one can be true, other can be true, or both can be true. That's all fine. Okay, so here if the number is greater than 0 and the number is divisible by 2, then it means it's a positive and even number. And if it's greater than 0 but the number is not divisible by 0, okay, sorry, divisible by 2, that is C modulus 2 not equal to. Okay, so not here that not equal to is written like one exclamation mark and then equal to sign. Okay, so in that case it means it's a positive number but it's a odd number, and then you can say C less than 0 and C percentage 2 equal to 0. That means the number is negative and also the number is even. Okay, and the next case would be negative and number not divisible by 2, so that number is odd. And if none of these conditions are working out, the answer is most probably you entered a 0. Okay, so I'm just giving that inside the else statement. Okay, so let's run this. So I'm writing a number now, let's say 15. So I get the result. The number is positive as well as odd number. Okay, so you can try out yourself by giving different numbers and different conditions. You can check use or also. Okay, and try it yourself. Okay, and now sometimes we might need to control the loop. Okay, sometimes we don't want the entire loop to run and all that. So in such cases we use there are some loop control statements, and we club them with this if and else conditions. Okay, so let's see the first one. It's known as continue. Okay, so suppose we have a list fruits equal to apple, mango, banana and grape, and let's say we are going to print all the fruits. Okay, so we write for f in fruits, then print the fruit is f. Okay, so that's supposed to give or supposed to print all the fruits, apple, mango, banana and grape. Okay, but suppose you don't want to print banana. Okay, so whenever the value in f becomes banana, you don't need to print it. Okay, all others you must print, but when it is banana, you must skip it. Okay, so in such cases we use the statement continue. Okay, so if I'm giving the if condition, if f equal to banana. Okay, so whenever the value of sorry, whenever the value of f is banana, then what happens, you encounter or you enter into this block and you see the command continue. Okay, when continue is observed, what happens is whatever statements are there below that inside the for loop, they won't be executed. Okay, so the loop stops itself and go back to the beginning. Okay, so we'll just run it and see. So here, yeah, you can see in the first iteration the value of f was apple, so it's printed. This condition is not true. Okay, when come to mango, again this condition is not true, so the fruit is mango, that's printed. And in the third case, the value of f is banana. Okay, so in that case this condition becomes true, and the function goes to, or the control goes to this continue statement. Okay, so whenever this continue is observed, what happens, it won't continue the loop, but the loop will be broken, and not broken actually, the loop won't be continued, but the control goes to the beginning of the loop. Okay, so in the next iteration the value of f become grape. Okay, and then that time the print statement will be executed. Okay, so you can see except for banana, all others get printed. And now the next loop control statement is break. Okay, so it's different from continue in the sense that if I'm giving if f equal to banana then break, that means whenever the value of f becomes banana, the entire loop is broken. Okay, so the loop won't be continued any further. Okay, so whenever you see banana, that's the end of it. Okay, you come out of the for loop. Okay, so if you run this, you can see the first fruit was apple, mango, banana, grape. So apple is printed, mango is printed, and then we encounter banana. Okay, so the if condition becomes true, and the control comes or sees this break statement, and then when you see the break, immediately the loop is broken and you come out of the loop. Okay, so if I just write print over here, you can see immediately after mango the statement over is printed. Okay, because we are out of the loop. But here in this case, let's just give the same thing, print over. Okay, so here if I give that, you can see that print is that over is printed only at the end. Okay, after writing or after printing the grape also. Okay, it's just that only the banana will be skipped, the others will be printed. Okay, so I hope the difference between continue and break is clear. They are really useful many times. So sometimes you don't have to, you are looking for something, for example there is a big list and you are looking for particular value. Okay, you are searching for that value in the list. Okay, so whenever you encounter that value, you don't need to continue further, right? So you already found whatever you are looking for, then you can just break and come out of the loop. Okay, so in such cases you can simply use break. Okay, if you yeah, you give a if condition like the variable equal to what you are looking for, and if that is true, then just break out of the for loop, you don't have to continue further. Okay, so yeah, that's about controlling the loop and the decision making, yeah, if and else statements in python. Okay, so actually with that or having this much knowledge, you should be able to write any basic programming task that is given to you. Okay, so in whatever programming language, if you are comfortable with the loops as well as the control statements, then you like, maybe it's bit lengthy, your code might be a bit lengthy if you are not using functions, etc., but uh, it is possible to write the code. Okay, just by knowing the if else conditions and loop statements. Okay, so now I would say you have made a really good progress with Python, or you can consider yourself to be yeah, not a intermediate, maybe a person who can understand Python at least. Okay, so yeah, we'll continue with the other topics in the next video. Thank you. Thanks for watching.